Hi everybody, this is Jeannie. I am actually trying my first Facebook Live post. I'm so excited, but this is crazy. I'm nervous. I even made Dennis go into the back room because I don't know, I was just intimidated. So hopefully this is going to work out. It looks like I kind of have to do things upside down, and I'm not real sure how good I am at that. So we will have to see how that works. So let me see if I can get my screen to show what you're seeing. Oh, look at that. Hi. Okay, so here's what's happening. I sent out these really cute waterfall cards for Easter to my family and some of my friends, and one of them asked me to show how to put this card together. So I'm going to show you that today. So what happens is when you pull on this little ribbon down here, the card flips the images and you get a nice little Happy Easter. Isn't that fun? This is called the Waterfall card, and it is actually my favorite folding technique. I just love it. Some of you might remember that a few years ago I did our Christmas card with this waterfall technique, and it was just so fun, and people are telling me that they still have those cards probably 10 years later. So even impressed the husbands. I think they like the mechanics of it. So let me show you how this card is put together and what you're going to need. First, we have the Welcome Easter stamp set. That's what we're going to feature today. I just love these little characters. They are so cute. When I was making these cards, they just made me smile while I was doing it. So this set can be found in the January to June 2020 mini catalog on page 45, I believe. Let's see. 45, yeah. So I guess I should turn it around so you can see it. But there it is right there. So cute. Now, if you're interested in placing an order for this stamp set, as usual, it's all while supplies last, and things have been going out pretty quickly lately. But you can go to my Stampin' Up website at jeannieciolli.stampinup.net and use the hostess code TGZNR3RH. And I'll tell you a little bit more as to what you can get if you place a $50 order. So I'm going to take this away and just leave the hostess code in case you haven't had a chance to write that down yet. Okay, so here's what you're going to need. And you can go to my stampwithjeannie.com website, and I have step-by-step instructions written there and a list of all the supplies, so you don't need to worry about sizes, writing down sizes and whatnot right now. I've written it all down for you, so you can check that out over on stampwithjeannie.com. All right, so the first thing you're going to need is 4 2¼ inch watercolor paper squares, and I used our fluid watercolor paper. Really helps the water flow. You're going to need 3 2½ inch Coastal Cabana squares. 1, I think I should write this upside down, or do it upside down so you can read it. 3/4 by 4¼ inch piece. Now on these white pieces, I used our thick cardstock. You want it to be really strong and have a little strength to it to help hold the mechanism in. Let me turn these upside down so you can I'll learn this. Like I said, this is my first video, so eventually I'll be an old pro at getting these things the right way for you. Okay, you're going to need a piece of DSP. For those of you that don't know what DSP is, it's designer series paper. And for this project, I used one of the background sheets from the Follow Your Art paper. So which is available. So it's the Follow Your Art paper. And so it's actually this pattern, and I use the back side of it. So, okay, so that is that. And that is 3 3/4 by 5, if I didn't remember to say that. Then you're going to need another thick white cardstock piece that's 4 by 5 1/4. A Coastal Cabana piece that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then you're going to need another Coastal Cabana piece that is 2 1/2 by 10 inches. You are going to score this piece at 2 1/2, 3 1/4, 4, and 4 3/4. Let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to bring my scorer over. Now let me see, let me get it to where you can see. And I'm sorry it's going to be upside down for you, but I need to be able to see what I'm doing here. So I'm just going to score that. Once again, it's 2 1/2, 3 1/4, 4, and 4 3/4. Okay, so I can get that out of the way. Then we're just going to, maybe I have to do it this way. We're going to fold that down, and I'm going to use my bone folder. Oh, I got to show you this. Isn't that cute? This is something I did for my Sparkles team as one of their little surprise gifts throughout the year. I had everybody's name embossed on their little bone folder. So it's so fun. All right, so now we're just going to go down to each score line. And once again, you're going to burnish it. And when I'm doing this, I'm making sure that before I do the burnishing, I'm going to make sure that this is evenly spaced and aligned properly. You don't want it to be where you scored it to where it's like this. That wouldn't be good. All right, so then you have one more. And you do this. And I just realized that, okay, I should not have written this here because now that's going to show on my little piece, but I can fix that later. Okay, so they all fold in like this. So hopefully you can see that. All right, so now we are going to take our I'll do this one. We're going to take this one. Actually, I'll turn it this way so you can see. I hope I'm not making you dizzy. Sorry about that. Okay, now ignore that I'm using Fast Fuse. We don't carry Fast Fuse anymore, but it's my favorite adhesive, and I'm hoping that someday they'll bring it back in. Okay, so I'm just going to add some adhesive to this piece and center it on here like this. Okay, then you want to use a really strong adhesive. So for this next piece, so I'm going to use our tear and tape, and we are just going to add that to the ends. So you're just going to add it just to the ends. You do not want adhesive in the center of this piece, only the ends. Oh, okay. So we're going to do this. Okay, so one thing you're going to realize when you watch my videos is I am who I am. I am not going to be doing any editing. If I make mistakes, you're going to see them, and hopefully we'll use them as a creative opportunity to learn how we can fix something if something goes wrong. So we're going to, oh, okay. Sometimes this tape does not want to come off. There we go. Finally. There we go. Okay, so now I am going to glue that down here, probably it's about 5 1/8 of an inch up. And you want to kind of get that straight. And, okay, I had cut this piece large on purpose, but looks like I didn't line my tape up properly. So I'm just going to add another piece in here. Like I said, you get me. The way I am, mistakes and all. Oh, come on. Okay, so let me fold that over, Okay, so now I'm just going to turn it to me for a second so I can make sure it's straight. Now, I made my piece long on purpose because sometimes when you're cutting, you'll be off like 1/8 of an inch or whatnot, and I wanted to make sure that it's went all the way across. So now I'm just going to cut off that extra. All right, and then I'm going to burnish this with my bone folder just to make sure that that adhesive gets stuck right inside there. Okay, all right, so now here's the part that no one can get by my instruction. Well, actually, you know what? I am going to go ahead and I'm going to put this on our border piece. All right, so we'll get that. We'll make sure that's on nice and tight. Okay, so I'm going to flip this around so it's your way again. Am I in the, hopefully I'm in the screen here. Okay, and I'm knocking everything all over the place. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this back piece that did not have the scoring on it, and I'm just going to slide it right underneath here. Okay, and I'm going to align the top, trying to make sure that I'm centered. And this looks like it scored a little bit crooked, so we're going to fix that. Okay. So I have it aligned like that, and I want to make sure that it's straight. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flop that piece over, and I'm going to put adhesive right on the white strip, about the same length as the blue. Okay, and then I'm just going to scroll this down so it's nice and flat, and just hit that so it stays on there. So now you have the only part that's glued on is this one top piece that's got the largest scoring part. Now I should be able to just go like this, and that will be our mechanism for putting the flip cards on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, through the magic of television, I took these watercolor pieces and I quickly colored them. And we're going to mount these pieces. I didn't want you to have to sit there and watch me watercolor. Just so you know, I did watercolor these, so I used the StazOn pad. Anytime you do use water, you want to use StazOn. But this is great for any coloring technique that's your favorite. It could be watercolor pencils, it could be Stampin' blends. What else do we have? You could leave it without any coloring. It's up to you. But just know that if you switch to like the Stampin' blends, you're going to want to use a Memento ink pad instead of the StazOn. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to attach the Happy Easter card in the center of that square. Okay, then the next one I believe was the lamb. Let's double check, because yep, the next one is the lamb. So we'll do that. So I'm just going to put adhesive at the very top next to the score line. Well, actually, I can do the whole thing. Okay, and we're going to align that up to the thing and make sure it's straight. And just push that down. Next would be our cute bunny. This one, I don't know. The bunny is what probably makes me smile the most. It should be the chick because that reminds me of my paper pumpkin peeps. But I just love the face on this bunny. So I'm going to line him up to the next score line. Make sure he's straight. And last but not least, we are going to do this cute little chick. And the chick is going to align right at the top of this card, like that. So now all of them will flip. Okay, is that just the cutest? I love it. All right, okay. So next, what we're going to do, if I can find my punch. Oh, here's my punch. Okay, I'm using the 3/16 inch circle punch. You can use any kind of circle punch, but you want to kind of keep it small. And I'm just gonna pull this down, and I'm gonna punch a hole there. And then somewhere around here well, this is very staticky, so it probably flew somewhere. I don't know. So anyway, this is our satin seam binding, crinkled seam binding ribbon. I believe that it is out of stock right now. I'm not sure if it's coming back, but honestly, you can use any kind of ribbon. This one was very popular. What's really nice is it's light and it mails really easily. But like I said, any kind of ribbon will work. So I'm just going to take that ribbon, as long as it's thin. You don't want something that's like a 1/2 inch or more. This one I believe is 3/8. Let's see. This is a 1/4 inch ribbon. Okay, so I'm just going to put that through the hole, bring it up, put these little ends back through the ribbon, like that, pull it down, and I'm just going to trim the ends off a little bit, like that. Okay, so we're good right there. Your card's almost done. I did make that mistake on mine, so let me fix that. I am 2.5. So I just cut a piece that's 2.5. Let me see how long this is. This should be almost 5. So I'm going to cut this down to 4 1/4. Oh, I need to make it shorter. Watch me make it too short. Okay. So yeah, that works. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this on to cover up my writing there. And you know what? I'm going to just put it up at the top. Okay. And then I can just put my little sentiment signature on the white part instead of just having it on the Coastal Cabana. Okay, so that's like that. Now to finish off this card, I just did some 1/4 inch punches, circle punches, and I used mini glue dots. And so now I can just pull those off, put them on, put them up here. Another one right here. Yes. And like this. Okay. That card is done. Oh, let me turn it your way again. And it just flips through and goes under. And this wants to catch on for me for some reason. But, you get the gist. Go, 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 go. All right. Okay. So once again, the tricky part of this card is to remember that you're going to score those that front flap. The long piece goes behind the white, and then you're just going to close the top part down and lay it flat, and then the mechanism will work. Don't forget to put your stamp by stamp on the back of your card, because when you make a card from somebody, you want them to know that you actually made it for them, and they'll appreciate it even more. So now I told you that I had a special going on. If you choose to place a $50 order before April, oh, there's my ribbon, I just found it. Before April, let's say 10th, I will send you a pre-cut pack of everything you need to make 6 of these cards, all cut, ready to go. All you're going to do is color the pieces, stamp the pieces, color the pieces, and glue them all together. You'll get instructions. You can always watch this video if my instructions don't make sense for you, but you get this pack of 6 cards for free if you place an order on my Stampin' Up website. Right here, my Stampin' Up website, jeannieciolli.stampinup.net, and use this hostess code TGZNR3RH. Now, if you don't use that hostess code, you will not qualify for that card pack. So make sure you use that unless your order turns out to be more than $150. If it's more than $150, you will receive the card pack, and you get to choose free hostess benefits. So I'd be happy to take those benefits, but I want you to have them. So once again, if your order is more than $150, you could get some friends together and order with you. If it's more than $150, you get the free hostess rewards. So as always, if you have any questions, I am always just an email, phone call, or text away. If you want me to place the order for you, I'd be happy to do that. Just give me a call or send me an email. So that was my first video. I hope it wasn't too crazy for you, and that you enjoyed the project, and I will hopefully hear from you soon. Take care, everybody. I miss your faces. Bye.